So now we're gonna be talking about the East. So the East. The the All-Star. Oh yeah, true. The East All-Star starters. I mean, no, bench players. And
so close.
One of my bench guys is my boy Julius Randle, who is also this year's breakout player of the year. I'm just gonna be jacking that this whole year. I'm not, because he won me money too. So I bet on the Knicks, and I never bet on the Knicks, but I bet on the Knicks because of him, right? So he's had a great year. Like he's averaging, what is it, 22, 11, and 7, some shit like that.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
5.5 assists, but yeah, 23, 10.9. 5.
Oh yeah, at the time when I last looked at it, I think it was like 7 assists, but like he's obviously playing really well. And if you guys didn't understand why I randomly just kind of root for this random guy at the Knicks when we talk so badly about the Knicks, it's because he was once a Laker, and because of that, you still hold some type of care in my heart. And a lot of these Lakers, I kind of, they're like my kids, you know. So I just gotta keep on, and the Knicks are actually pretty decent this year.
So you know this, and Lindsay knows this, but the Knicks are my least favorite team in all professional sports. But you guys don't know this because I haven't had a chance to really talk about it because they've been doing very non-Knick-like things, like playing defense and playing hard and doing things like winning. And that's hard for me as a person. Like, that's them, the Knicks having the being number one in defensive points per game. They allowed the lowest amount of points in the NBA at like 103 or 104.
Yeah.
And Tom Thibodeau has turned this team around.
Tommy Tibbs.
Julius Randle, who I loved coming out of college. The Celtics had the 6th pick, and the Lakers had the 5th pick coming out of college. Or no, did they have the 7th? Can't remember.
It was the 7th.
It was the 7th? You guys are the pick after. It was either the pick before or after. And I wanted the Celtics to pick Julius Randle. And when they picked Marcus Smart, I was furious because I watched very little college basketball. But that season, the college pool, they had Embiid, they had Randle, Andrew Wiggins, Jabari Parker. It was like insane. And somehow all these guys were going to end up being great players. And so I watched college basketball, and I saw him just destroy.
You don't think Marcus Smart has had a better career so far over him?
Oh, and he's dead. So far, if we were to talk career, I mean, Marcus Smart has been better at his role, but Julius hadn't had an opportunity to, like,
be that guy. Okay.
I think Julius Randle's having a better season right now than any of Marcus Smart's seasons.
Okay, I agree. And the season he had 2 years ago as well, when he had a contract year.
Yeah,
I think he was averaging like 20, 21-9, some shit like that.
But he's one of my East bench guys as well. He's just been awesome, and he's been awesome all around.
Yeah.
Like, here he is. So, 30 games. Pretty sure he's played every game. Right? Yeah. 23.2, 10.9, and 5.5 assists. Shoot. Almost 50%. 40% from 3.
Yeah, you already know my boy.
Like,
what I'm talking about.
There's no way. And I just wish he wasn't a Knick. If he wasn't a Knick, it would all be correct. So the next thing that needs to happen for Julius Randle is he needs to be traded to the Warriors or something like that so that he can further get through this great period of his career. Because it can't happen for the Knicks. I can't see the Knicks start winning games. This is fucked up.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be the laughing stock of the fucking league. The Knicks, garbage. Carmelo Anthony's team.
Yeah.
My point.
Yeah. But what do you have him as a starter? I mean, as a bench player, Lynn?
Yes, I do. I have him on my bench.
Yeah. Who else? Gotcha. Who do we have? Right? Who do we have on our bench? Lindsay, who do you got?
Yeah.
For the East or West?
East.
Well, I had Harden, Simmons, Giannis, Sabonis, Jaylen Brown, Van Vliet, and Randle.
Ooh, Fred VanVleet.
Yes.
That's a guy I don't have. Talk to me about Fred.
Hey.
Well, it was one of the things where I was like kind of getting down to the bottom of it, and there wasn't anybody that was super jumping out at me. Toronto has a good record. He's playing really well, and I threw it at him, I guess.
He's still on the. He's starting for them, right?
Yeah, and he just had like that contract, right? So.
What's he averaging?
20-something points. I got 24 and 6.
Yeah. And the Raptors in the playoffs, right?
They're the 6th seed.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking at my list. So I have Kyrie, who we spoke about. I have Ben Simmons. I have Randle. I have Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Zach LaVine, and Sabonis. So maybe I could see Van Vliet over Sabonis, but I think I'd still rather have Sabonis. I think Sabonis has had an amazing year this year. Another guy who's put up, what's he averaging this year? He's got 21,
he's
11.
He's on some shit.
Same thing. He's almost got the same stats as Randle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's carrying a Pacers team that's depleted. They traded for Karis LeVert and got exactly this much from him. I mean, thank God they figured out what's going on with his health. But you get my point.
He's back with the team now, right?
I don't know. I have to look.
I saw that. I thought I saw that.
Did he play? He's not playing, is he?
I don't know if he's playing yet, but I thought he was back with the team. Announced his definitely.
He doesn't have a number yet. If he doesn't have a number, he's not playing.
22.
No, he's 22 for the Nets. But if you go back, look.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
If you go here, he still doesn't have a number. If he doesn't have a
gotcha.
number,
I thought I saw that he was back with the team. Maybe I'm.
Nah, it's still out as of, what do you call it? I just had his thing clicked on, but as of, he might be back with the team, just like hanging out,
like just around. Yeah,
like maybe doing some.
Probably trying to get to know his new teammates. You know.
Sabonis 21, 21, 11, and almost 6, smashing. Right, Oladipo not on the team anymore, so this doesn't count. But it's just these two guys, Brogdon and Sabonis, and Sabonis has taken a very obvious step up. He might be most improved player when we look at his numbers from last year. Well, 18 and 12 last year too. But yeah, still a level up. I don't know why this popped up, but yeah, there we go. Still more assists, more steals, a little bit more on the defensive end, shooting a little bit worse, but scoring more. So I don't know. And he's been leading that team in terms of being the guy every night.
Yeah.
So,
he's definitely the best player on that team.
I would have him over Van Vliet. I didn't have any fucking Raptors on my.
We don't fuck with the Raptors like that. for my bench, I had James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Julius Randle, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Sabonis, and Trae Young.
Trae Young.
My boy, the youngster, hit him with the. All right, so Trae Young. So we kind of assumed this team wasn't going to be as good as everybody was making them seem like they were going to be.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether they would. I knew that they had a lot of new pieces, but I didn't think. They lost so much last year. I couldn't get over that.
Yeah.
They lost too much.
I just think the reason I'd want Trae Young is because I just think he would be fun to. He's another one of those players that's just a fun guy to have on the team. Yeah. That was mainly my thing, but he's
leading the team very obviously.
Yeah. And still shooting that 43%, that's we were just giving the same criticism to Westbrook. You can't fucking shoot 43% in the league right now.
It hasn't. It's basically he's a career 42%.
Yeah,
it hasn't gotten better his whole career. Even last.
And your whole thing is 3-point shooting, and you're not even that great of a 3-point shooter.
I'm not with that either.
Yeah,
that's why he wasn't on my list. There's I'm not holding.
But he's a fun guy to. He's one of those.
Yeah, he's definitely
guys
fun.
Yeah,
I'm definitely not denying that.
and he was like towards the end of my list. Like it was like when you told me that I had that there's 12 All-Star positions. I was like, I can put Trae Young there, and I definitely had Sabonis there. So
yeah, I'm looking at. I'm looking back at like a guy like Tatum, right?
Yeah.
Tatum and Jaylen Brown have very similar statistics.
Yeah.
Like super similar.
They're the dynamic duo right now.
They are exactly the same duo. I gotta show you the points per game at minimum.
Jaylen Brown took a step up that I didn't expect him to.
Me neither. I threw down some Celtic shit earlier this season in this very house. I had to put the flags back up because of Jaylen Brown's play. Pretty much, almost entirely because of Jaylen Brown's play. I knew Tatum was Tatum and going to do those things. But what Jaylen Brown has been showing me from... This is a guy who might win Most Improved Player.
Yeah.
What was he putting up last year? 20 points. 20 to 26 is a big jump.
Yeah.
That's a big...
That gets you from a superstar tier. We had our little mark is 25, 5, and 5, and he's around there.
Pretty much. And this always fucking confuses me. 50% from the field, 40% from three, but 76% from the line, and a career 69%. Those numbers just never compute to me. It just as percent.
Like that's how Brown is too. Like LeBron shoots like I think he shoots 38% from the 3-point line, and then he shoots fucking 70% from the free throw line. It's like, bro, how can you shoot threes but not free throws? It's like,
yeah, bro, those guys always throw me off, always. But I think, and honestly, if you had to choose Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum to be the All-Star, like they're like, you can only bring one representative from the Celtics. Who you taking? I'm
going Jason Tatum.
Really?
Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
I think I'd go Jaylen Brown this year. Not in years previous, but this year exclusively.
He's definitely had a really good year, and I've contemplated who's like better between the two sometimes.
That's why I'm asking this question, because I don't know if Jaylen Brown. First of all, they're on the exact same tier at this point in terms of like where they are in the league. They're on the same tier.
Yeah, I mean,
they're just like, and I think Jason Tatum gets a couple of more rebounds, but the numbers.
Yeah, he gets almost like 10. He gets close to like 10. Like I think it's like 9.
So here's Tatum,
something like that.
Here's Brown,
about 7,
basically right next to each other here.
Oh,
25.8 to 25.9, right? Couple more rebounds, couple more assists for Tatum. They're both elite defenders from an on-ball standpoint. Like, and Jaylen Brown shooting a little bit better.
Not from the free throw line.
But that's it. Like, I think the case could be made that Jaylen Brown is having the better season. And I don't know. I think I'd pick him out of the Celtics. Because, like you said, that leap from an offensive standpoint, didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming at all. If I did, I would have been like, this might be the breakout guy. But also, 24 years old. He's been in the league a while now. Like, it feels like, because he's at least they've been in the
I feel like they've been in the league for around the same amount of time.
This is his fourth year. Yeah, this is fourth year. I just feel like he's been there as long as Brad Stevens has been there. Feels like.
Yeah, I thought they came in. Didn't they come in the same year? Him and, or maybe a year different. Maybe
him and Tatum are a year apart.
Yeah.
I remember Jaylen Brown didn't have to go back to the summer league after his rookie year, but he told the Celtics, he was like, "I'm going to summer league because I want to get better." And I said, I remember telling anyone who would listen, "We cannot lose this guy. We need to keep this guy at all costs. I don't know what he's going to be, but he cares a lot. So we need to keep. And I didn't think he'd ever. This is kind of what I saw for him. What he had last year.
Yeah.
This 20 points per game.
Yeah, that's like a secondary star kind of thing. Like you could see him be the second guy. Like
solid second guy. No.
Did he get his contract?
Ooh, good question.
Because that my whole thing is when I see stuff like that. Oh, he did okay. All right, because I was gonna say that means a lot then. Because when you see a guy, start putting up stats like that, and it's a contract year.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't mean as much, but when you get the contract and you start doing that, like that shows. Like I think that's
the biggest example of that I can remember, and it's not a basketball player, but it's a football player, is J.J. Watt. The moment they paid J.J. Watt, he like went right to the gym and started working out. There's this whole legendary story about the day he got paid his first contract in the NFL.
Yeah.
And it's like he's there cut from that kind of cloth.
Yeah, that's what. Well, and that's just how you know. Like obviously you have those stars that you just obviously they're great and they're gonna do what they're gonna do anyways. But there's guys that just break out and then you're like, all right, I'm gonna pay this guy, and then they just do shit afterwards.
Who else do we like that we haven't talked about here? So
we already talked about Kyrie and Harden.
We talked about the Nets. Oh, Ben Simmons.
We talked about Julius Randle. We talked about Ben Simmons. Yeah.
Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is a guy for me that.
Didn't he just have like a 40 and 20 point game?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That's what got him on the All-Star team for me, because I was doing this week, obviously. Doing the final draft for this All-Star team, and I saw it was 3 days ago, and I saw Ben Simmons just absolutely take over.
Yeah,
everything from in the paint. This is a guy who people criticize for him not having a jump shot, and what did he do? Not worry about that shit at all. Become an amazing defender and just figure out what his role is.
Yeah.
I think he's the best defender in the NBA right now. I think there's a bunch of guys in that case, but I think he's the best defender in the league.
I could see that though, because he's big. He's definitely a really good defender for sure. But you want to know what's just funny? I just like to bring these things up for you guys so that you guys can, because y'all hated Doc going into the season, and he's the reason these guys are doing what they're doing for you guys.
You remember though, I said, remember what, especially on Joel Embiid's part, I said, remember what Doc Rivers did for DeAndre Jordan. He does.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah,
but
you definitely said that. It's just funny. It's just funny that like. I remember we were hating on Doc so much going into the season. I'm just like, I thought that Philly was gonna be a good team.
Yeah,
and they're pretty good. And I've never been a huge Ben Simmons fan. And I think that's why, because I was looking, I'm like, what's different about my lineup versus you guys? Because I'm like, I feel like I got most of the guys, and I feel like I missed someone. And Lindsay, do you have Ben Simmons too on your lineup?
Yes, I do. I have him. I almost
I think that was where I missed out. Yeah.
I almost picked Harris for my.
Yeah, he's having a good season too. Like because I probably, looking back at it, I probably should have put him over Trae Young. I just totally. I've never been a huge Ben Simmons fan though. I never followed him much, and I don't know. Coming into the league, I thought he was overhyped, and I just don't like when. Who's this? Oh, okay. Who's these kids?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
No, but Tobias Harris is having an all. Is he 50, 40, 90 this year, Lynn?
He might be. Yes.
We'll look it up in a second, but I'm just going to let the highlights run for a second. But I definitely
expected him to do well. You expected him to do well, I think, because I think you mentioned that he played with Doc.
Yes, he did. And he had an awesome stretch for the Clippers before they traded him here to Philly.
Yeah.
And it was like him and Bobby.
Toby and Bobby.
Yeah.
Toby and Bobby.
Let me get Tobias Harris's.
You sounded like they were Teletubbies, Lynn.
Yo, they're so cute though.
What are they really Teletubbies named Toby and Bobby?
I don't fucking know the Teletubbies names, but I don't think that's what they're named.
I was gonna say, it's just the way you said it though. It sounded like they were Teletubbies.
It's Tobias Harris. So 51%. Yeah, 50, 40, 90 for Tobias Harris. 20 points per game. Fucking insane. Yeah. I just think that, damn, now that I'm looking at this. So
it was.
I think I take Sabonis again. Sabonis is the bottom guy for me on my list. And
over Tobias. Yeah, I agree.
I think it's Sabonis.
So a lot of people rip Philly for what they did, like in terms of like how they handled the contracts and stuff, which was well deserved. But like when you look at it now, keeping Tobias over Jimmy Butler looks so much smarter right now, because like Jimmy probably would have gave you one more good year, and then because Jimmy's not looking that great this year. I mean, he's starting to pick back up.
Dude, you gotta see, he's been injured most of the year. But the last he's averaging almost a triple-double in February. He's he is destroying Jimmy Butler. He's having a really good month stretch. Yeah. But he can't be an all-star because
he
hasn't put the season together.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about that. While
it's recency bias as fuck.
I think if they had kept
I'm honest enough to admit it.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that until you said it, and that's why.
Yeah.
In the moment, but I think Jimmy Butler might have gotten them to the NBA Finals one of these years, where Tobias Harris obviously doesn't get them over that hump. Like, I think Jimmy Butler gives them that fuck you edge, the same fuck you edge that got Miami to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
I think he gets that. He gives that to Philly. He almost did. That they made it to the conference finals. That's the part.
Plus Jimmy plus Doc. That would have been really good.
That's what I'm saying.
Like because that would have been that would have been, because we all know you've mentioned Doc is a horrible motivator. So if you got Jimmy there, fucking
you'll be all right. But that's why he wanted to leave in the first place, because he didn't like the way Brett Brown was doing things. You could tell based on the. Since then, he did.
I think didn't he go on All the Smoke? And he was. I remember there was one interview that he talked about, like, that they wouldn't talk about their issues. Like,
where I saw it was JJ Redick's podcast. He talked about.
Oh yeah, it was JJ Redick. I'm sorry, I don't watch that podcast that often.
You're like I don't know. I just listen to words come out. I just like look at interview or shit like that, and I don't know who the fuck I'm listening to sometimes. but yeah, like I remember him. He was saying like there was like issues within the locker room, and like they just wouldn't talk about it. Yeah,
and like they would just like. Kept like, and he was like, oh, and I think something happened where they made him seem like he was the bad guy or some shit. He was just like, I'm just gonna be quiet and do my job.
Yeah, that because he liked to talk shit.
Yeah,
and Miami was the perfect place for that type of shit. And he wanted a more like serious, like straight-laced organization, and Miami's about that. Like you come in, you get weight tested every week, like.
Yeah,
it's like they do.
It's militant.
Yes,
very militant.
Precisely. Fucking, I just have a bunch of Ben Simmons defensive highlights up. I really think he's the defensive player of the year this year.
Yeah,
it's either it's gonna be him or Gobert.
Yeah, I'm with that.
And I've gained so much more of a respect for guys who can fly all over the court defensively than I did when I was younger. Like, I used to care not so much about guys like this. Like, and I would underrate this aspect of it greatly, but
what do you mean? Like when you say that,
the Giannis's and the Ben Simmons and the types of guys that fly all over the court, like they're
the extra play people.
Yeah, the doing the little things people, like the dirty work guys, like the Dennis Rodmans of the world, who
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
they're concerned with doing their role. Guys who are great at their role to a point that they look like a superstar, like this fucking guy, scoring 15 points a game. And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's still easily, outside of Embiid, the second most important guy on the court whenever they step on him. So
Yeah.
I definitely think he deserves to be an all-star for that.
And I think that's one thing that because Doc highlighted that in his little interview with All the Smoke, where he said first we had to establish who's the best player, like who's our guy, and he was like Embiid is clearly the best player on our team, like that, and we had to establish that from day one. And I think when you have that, like then you don't have those weird dynamics where like the Kobe Shaq shit. Like if you establish Shaq is the best player on our fucking team, Kobe, calm the fuck down. Then maybe things go a little differently. But
do you really think Kobe would have accepted people saying that while watching Shaq not work out? He would be like, no, fuck you guys.
Yeah, obviously.
Which is inevitable.
Yeah, exactly. But at a point, I'm pretty sure Kobe did think Shaq was the best player on the team.
Yeah,
until like
definitely by the end of 1 or 2. By the at some point in that.
By 2001 when they tried to like, because there was a point where, and we always gotta talk about Kobe, but you guys know we show that love, man. We got the Mamba shirt out, we gotta show our love. But